Join me right now on Kumite TV is the Eternal MMA Middleweight Champion, Isi Fitikefu. What's going on, Izzy?
Nothing much, mate.
You know, you work a full-time job, you train full-time. It's very, very tough on any person, right? Describe your daily grind and the sacrifices you have to make to chase your dream.
So before I start my day, I'll go to training, come back. I'll drop off the kids to school, get them ready, drop them to school, get ready for my first session in the morning, and then train all the way till the night time. So we have a break in between, and then after I finish, I pick up the kids from daycare, and then after daycare, I go and teach my classes, and then I go back to work at night. That's pretty much every day.
What's more difficult, taking care of the kids or training?
I'll say taking care of the kids. It's full on.
I know what you're talking about, man. Alright, man, let's get into your last fight, Super Fight 8. You added another middleweight title to your collection. You had some dangerous moments in the first round. Can you take me through that fight and the finish?
Yeah, I took him down, and I knew he had good jiu-jitsu. I was ready for anything that was happening on the ground, but he got me in a good triangle. It was tight, but it wasn't on. I've been put in triangles where I've been put like in training where I've been put to sleep, but that triangle wasn't worrying too much. If it was a jiu-jitsu match, he would have won. But it was MMA. I threw a couple punches and he opened up the guard a little bit, opened the triangle up a little bit, and got my hand through to stop the triangle. And then, yeah, as soon as I scrambled from the triangle, I got back up where I wanted to keep extending. And Cameron, he's a fighter that just comes forward, that doesn't think. So he came forward, I threw like a jab left hook, and then he came again, and I threw the right hand, overhand right, and it hit him, and then fell on the ground, and then I hit him again, and that was it. So he was just walking forward, so I didn't have to cover the distance. He covered the distance for me.
Yeah, that was a very, very devastating knockout. Very impressive, man. It must have been exciting to get a second title.
Oh, not really. I was just happy with the fight. I forgot that I was fighting for a belt until the bloke put it around me. I was surprised.
All right. Well, you are undefeated, and you only went to a decision in your pro debut. What did you learn from that first fight and going to the decision that has pushed you to the next level and allowed you to finish every fight since then?
I don't know. Before, when I fought that decision, I was still learning the ropes, sort of. And then the more I grew, the more years came past, the more confident I got in my ability. Because I always knew I had power, but I didn't know how to use it properly. And the more as the years come by, I worked on it slowly, and it started coming into my fight game. So it's good.
When someone watches your fights, when I watch your fights and try to describe to somebody like your style, I tell them like he's kind of like a Tito Ortiz with his ground and pound, but then he also has the Dan Henderson H-bomb overhand right. You know, like when someone's about to watch your fight and you have to describe to them like your style, how would you describe it as?
I don't know. Isi Doc style. I'm not sure, man. I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, yeah, I wouldn't know how to describe that style. It's like just a wrestling, boxing style, I guess. I wouldn't know how to describe it.
Is it just something that comes naturally to you, that wrestling, boxing style?
Yeah, it's something naturally that comes to me. I love boxing and I love wrestling. Like, in general, like I like watching boxing and I love watching the wrestling. And for my size, it's more suitable for boxing and wrestling. I'm not the tallest person in the division. I'm pretty small, so.
Yeah, a lot of people will say that, since you are a shorter fighter for the division and all your opponents have been much taller than you, they said that that would be a disadvantage, but you proved them all wrong. And what advantages do you see as the shorter fighter?
I don't know. Me being the short fighter, I feel like because they're taller than me, it feels like they're looking down on me. So that makes me more excited and angry that I get to come in there and get the job done even more. And I don't know. I've seen a lot of short fighters. Like Mike Tyson, David Tua. They were short in their division, but they proved a lot of people wrong. And those guys have got devastating knockout power, but not just power, but they're also smart on how they do things, working the angles, weaving their way through. So yeah, so it's a disadvantage and an advantage. I'll say for me, advantage.
All right, let's talk about your next fight, your title defense at Eternal MMA 46 versus Kitt Campbell. He is a former Hex welterweight champion, very experienced, very dangerous. Do you believe he is the biggest challenge so far in your career?
Yeah, I'll say even though he's coming from the weight division below, he's a tough dude. Yeah, I'll say he's today going to be my toughest fight. But every fight I take is going to be tough. So I say yeah, he's going to be a tough fight. Good chin, good stand up, good grappling, good everything. But fights like that makes things exciting. See who the best is.
From watching his previous fights, does he bring anything that you have not seen in the cage?
No, I've seen it all. But he's a dude that's gonna be in it to win it. He's a tough dude, good chin. To see who the best man is on June 1st. I'm pretty keen.
All right, let's talk about your coaches and your training partners, and talk about them and how they have prepared you for this upcoming fight.
So my coaches, Justin, Fabricio Ite, and Alex Prates, they've we train all year round. So when we take fights, it's not like we have to try and worry about getting fit, try and worry about doing this. We're always evolving as we go. We're always training hard. So when we got the fight, we didn't have to worry about getting fit because we're already fit. It's just little adjustments. Just we work on new things for any opponent. So training's been good. So yeah, nothing's different. Even if you didn't have a fight, it would have been still the same story. It would be just normal training hard, getting ready for anything.
There's a lot of great teams in Australia, and your team is one of them. You got the UFC middleweight champ there. You got a bunch of other, great fighters on your team. Other than, training year-round and, always being ready, what makes that team so special?
I think it's just one that we share also. Everyone's hungry. That's the main thing. Everyone's hungry. Everyone wants to fight on the big stage. That's the good thing. And everybody cares about each other. That's the main thing. Like, we look out for each other. Like, not just the fighters, but for the coaches as well. It's good. We've got a good vibe and good energy. Everyone's on the same page all the time. Everyone's not just out for themselves. They're out for. I'm not just out for myself. I'm out for Jacob. I'm out for Dave. I'm out for Rob. I'm out for Brad. I'm out for the other boys as well. So that's the good thing about this team and the coaches as well.
You go into your fight, your upcoming title defense. You get the finish over Kitt Campbell. Where does that put you on the pound for pound list in Australia, do you believe?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I just want to fight. List means nothing to me. I just want to keep on fighting and want to be able to train and fight full time. But the list doesn't mean nothing to me. List is a list. But I want to be fighting on any big stage. Just want to travel the world as well, fighting. Nothing to the bucket list.
All right. Well, is the middleweight is that weight class? You're gonna continue in that weight class, or do you ever plan on dropping down to welterweight in the future?
Maybe one day, but for now I'm just enjoying my run in the middleweight division. Just keep on fighting, and then if the time is right, it's all about timing. If the time is right, then I'll make the change to welterweight. So it should be good.
All right. One last thing before I let you go. There's the potential of Robert Whittaker facing Israel Adesanya in Australia. It's going to be a massive fight for the area. How do you see this fight going down?
Third round finish. Whittaker. Punches knockout. Israel's got good stand up, but I've got nothing against Israel, but Rob, it's weird that everything's unorthodox on the bloke. Especially when you train with him, like you train with him every day, you should know what his style is, but every time you move around with him, he comes something new to the plate every day. And that's the good thing about him. He's got real good fight IQ, good grappling as well, good wrestling, real explosive. And a lot of the people, they sleep on his grappling. So it should be an exciting fight, but I'm not being biased. Actually, I am being biased, but I reckon Rob will get the job done.
Definitely. All right, man. June 1st, Eternal MMA 46 main event. Middleweight title is on the line. Melbourne. Thank you, Izzy, for your time, and good luck on your fight, man.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Hi, my name's Isi Fitikefu, and I fight out of Stand Strong Boxing and Sweden Grange, wrestling and jiu-jitsu. I just want to make a shout out to my sponsor, A1 Air Services, and Viking for supplying me with gloves and helping me out along the way. Oh, and shout out to my coaches and my teammates, Fabrizio Ite, Alex Prates, Justin Fitzgerald, Charlie Pichuati, and the boys Rob, Dave, and Jacob, and James, and Sione, and Bradley, and Kurt, and Daniel.